This is verse 45 of the 5th chapter of the Gospel of John. Jesus is in a conversation with the religious leaders. He is accusing them of not recognizing the attesting signs that heaven has given to show that Jesus' claims about himself are indeed true and reliable claims. He's told them the reason they don't recognize these attesting signs is because they don't have the life of God, they don't have the Word of God, they don't have the truth of God in them. And oddly enough, Jesus points out that the Old Testament scriptures in which they are so conversant, so expert, are the very words that are attesting to Jesus and his truth as well. And so they're not seeing the attesting signs, and they're not seeing the truth of what Moses had said. And of course, Jesus puts a sharp point on that particular affirmation as he reaches this statement in verse 45, may. The two words in Greek that are negations are ou, which is used with the indicative, and me, which is used with non-indicative moods. And here we have the imperative of dokeo. This is doketa, contract verb. Thus we have this accent which would otherwise not be expected here. Doketa means to think, to seem, to appear. In this case, the best rendering is to think. Second person plural, present active indicative, me doketa, do not think. Hoti can mean either that or because. In this case, of course, that is the proper sense of it. Do not think that. Ego, the presence of ego here lays emphasis upon it. The sentence would make sense without the word, but this is as a word to suggest that as we translate it, we should emphasize this word. Do not think that I, with the emphasis there, kategoreso. Kategoreso is from kategoreo, which means to categorize, literally. The idea is to put something into a category, and it commonly suggests the idea of to accuse or to condemn, to judge, to convict, that idea. And so Jesus is saying here, don't think that I am going to, this is the future of this, the contract verb, of course, lengthens the contract vowel. This is first person singular future active indicative. So do not think that I am going to categorize you, I'm going to accuse you or condemn you, referring not, of course, to a final judgment. We affirm as Orthodox Christians that a time will come when Jesus returns to judge the quick and the dead, but the point Jesus is driving at here is that right at the moment, he's not here to judge them, to pass judgment upon them, because as he drives home the point, Moses is going to do that for him. So do not think that I categorize humon. This verb takes the genitive, and so this is the second person plural genitive, and so it's do not think that I am going to judge you. Pros, to, tone patera. Pros is a preposition, takes the accusative. To the definite article, accusative masculine singular, to the patera, father. Don't think that I'm going to accuse you to the Father. Esten, from ami, I am. This is third person singular, present active indicative. It is, or he is. And then continuing, ho, the article here, in the nominative, singular masculine, used with the participles. So the accusing you one. The accusing you, this is the same word that we had up here. Now it's a participle. It's again reflecting the contraction there, you'll see. So the one who accuses, humon, same as this, is Moses, is Moses. This must have come as a bit of a shock when they hear Jesus say such a thing. Don't think that I'm categorizing you. The one who brings this indictment, this accusation against you, is no one other than the one in whom you place your confidence. As Jesus continues, eis hon. This is a preposition, takes the accusative, as we find here. This would be rendered in whom, humes. And now we have the second person plural nominative pronoun, same as this, but of course in the nominative case. And then elpikata. This is a somewhat more rare word in the New Testament. It means to place one's hope in something. You know, the Greek word elpis, which means hope, is used quite commonly. Less commonly, really, is the verb form of that word, which is what we have here. This is the second person plural, perfect active indicative, in which you have placed and continue to place your hope. So don't think that I'm standing here, Jesus says, with the intention of indicting you, categorizing you, accusing you. There's already one who's done that well enough, and that's the Moses in whom you place all of your hope, all of your trust, all of your confidence. It's the testimony of the Old Testament scriptures that are sufficient in their content to bring this accusation against you, the accusation that you're refusing to recognize the one that God has sent into the world for the very purpose of redeeming your souls.